Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I'm Brendan Lee. In this video, I want to talk to you again about negative emotions. And just some considerations, some things you can do when experiencing negative emotions, and some considerations about emotions in general that might assist you in your own growth, your own freeing yourself from bullshit that you don't like, that impinges upon your experience, making your experience better. So here's what I want you to consider about emotions. What you can do with negative emotions is stop fighting them. Don't fight their existence. Don't resist the occurrence. Because when you resist your negative emotions, it actually adds, say if I'm experiencing fear, if I then resist the fear, that tends to show up in the form of some kind of pain in my experience. That is a resistance of the fear. So I'm adding fear, a negative emotion, negative experience, and then a resistance to the fear, more negative experience. So it becomes like a negative experience cocktail, if you will, or that's a possibility. And I had to discover this. And also, I'm keyed up a little bit here because Peter's been talking in this vein during the apprenticeship meetings that have been happening, and I noticed that this is practical advice. Now, in the world of consciousness work, the consciousness work world that I am working to create, you're invited to join that world, of course, is it's in support. It doesn't. Consciousness is not about giving people value. Consciousness work, like the value is in doing the work. Consciousness itself will not provide value for you, or another way to say it is, if you approach consciousness work with a mind to find out what's useful and valuable, you will then be funneled into and be looking in the wrong place, which will then hinder you in your ability to make the discoveries of which I speak, or the discoveries of which Peter would talk about. That shit, in blunt terms, that shit just gets in the way, and then you'll be looking in the wrong place. And then you should know that. And the reason I bring this trap up over and over and over again is because it's useful for people to hear it over and over and over again, so that they can really get it. And I know that from experience. All right. So then, in this valueless pursuit that you need to do a fuck ton of work to engage in, a lot of work, a lot of honesty, a lot of effort has to be put into this. Work, it just so happens, as far as I can tell, that if you discover what the truth is of your emotions, it will likely move you in the direction of then freeing you from them. If like a negative emotional experience, you will then likely, maybe, start to develop a capacity, or no. Maybe it's more like this. Maybe what's more true is, if you discover what your emotions really are for real, not like what people tell you they are, but like the existence of them, how they come to exist, we call that like becoming conscious, you might then be open to the possibility of now you can do something about it. Whereas before, if you hold your emotions, okay, you might be able to then say, hey, I know what emotions are really about. I see what's going on here. You become conscious. You see what the fuck's happening for real. You see what's going on. You see the real nature of the emotions arising, the real nature of the negative experience arising. As it arises, you start to see what that is, and then you might go, fuck, well, if that's what that is, I'm going to stop doing that because it sucks. See, but just becoming conscious, as far as I can tell, does not bring about the doing. You have to then take action. You have to then stop your mind, in short, right? Stop doing that. See, Okay, see, so now that right there, as far as I can tell, the year is 2024. This is a radical idea, but it seems to bear out as real and possible, and really possible. Like I saw Travis Pastrana, he's a famous like rally driver. I think he was in the car with some other guy, and this other guy was complaining about the car being mushy, and he's like, the car's really, you're rally driving, so high stress situation, really high stress situation. Like if a non-professional was in there, they'd probably be freaking out. But he's like, oh my God, the car is mushy, blah, blah, blah. And Travis Pastrana's like, well, do you want to win? The guy's like, yeah. He's like, then shut the fuck up and drive. He's like, fair. And just went on about his business. Now, my point is, I can imagine this being heard in a few different ways. One way is that, oh, he's just being macho, or oh, he's just blah, blah, blah. But what I suspect really happens, if that's the case, the guy just shut the fuck up, which is to say, stopped his mind from going down these negative roads and just said, drive. Nope, we're not going here. We're going here. And I bet his experience followed suit. He just shut the fuck up, didn't go there, and went here, drive. And it makes it very simple. And that's a real thing. You can do that. Say with your negative experiences, just, nah, no thanks. And not like suppressing it. That's a different deal. Not like ignoring it. That's a different deal. Literally, like if you raise your hand, you don't raise your hand. You stop that. You don't do it. So you can train yourself. Now, there are a few challenges that seem to arise or that I've had to overcome that really make this seem not real, impossible, can't be done, might inspire doubt. It's like on one side of the equation, it's not possible. There's no way. I must be full of shit. I'm talking trash. This is of no value. There's no way it can be done. Whatever the perspective that you have on one side, this is a possibility. Now, here are some things that can help you, perhaps help you overcome that, or considerations, things for you to look into that may change your perspective. Here's the first one. Emotions are caused. Emotions are caused. Take a look around. Yeah, I'm pausing for effect. Take a look. I didn't really pause. Pause. Emotions are caused. It looks like, because we are so fast with our minds, it looks like when somebody does something, we react right away. It looks like, to our untrained eye, so to speak, that you caused me to feel this way. And we even speak like that. You hurt me. You made me angry. Fuck you. You see, that's already you made me angry. Fuck you, right? Like, what are you doing that for? You hurt my feelings. See, you hurt my feelings. Now, I'm not saying it's right or good to hurt somebody's feelings. In fact, I disagree with that. However, the truth of the matter is, people don't hurt your feelings. They don't have that capacity. What they do is they trigger, as far as I can tell, the reality of it is they'll act in a certain way, and your triggers, they will act in relationship to what you've already preset as your mind. And if that gets triggered or stimulated in some way, it's automatic, and you will generate those emotions automatically. So now, the thing I want you to consider is I want you to challenge this. You caused me my emotions, or circumstances caused my emotions. Challenge that assumption. Is that actually true? Do circumstances actually cause your emotions? Or is there more to the story? Because, should have paused for effect, didn't. Because if circumstances cause your emotions, you are fucked. You have no control. You can't handle it. You're fucked. So if that's the case, and circumstances really do cause your emotions, then you, let's go have a beer. I've been on these Mexican margaritas lately with some mezcal and like lime juice. Pretty good. Ooh, could use one of those. It'd be great. Send some over. See, but so challenge that. Is that true? Now, some things to consider. You can, like along similar lines, you can notice Two people, given the same circumstance, can have very different emotional reactions, right? Add a third person, you have different emotional reactions. That means that the circumstance does not cause the emotion. Otherwise, all three people would have the emotion caused, you see? So at least you can lighten up on that possibility. Lighten up on that assumption that you think that circumstances cause your emotions, right? That's one thing to consider. Another thing I want you to consider is, consider this, and it's something I had to get over and notice and recognize, and this is part of the beginning of this video, is if I'm having a negative experience and I resist that negative experience, it makes it worse. You do not have to resist your negative experiences. You can let them be there. You can embrace them. You can enjoy them. And in so doing, it allows you to see them more clearly for what they are, because you stop hiding them from yourself in a way. And you can probably cut the pain down like in half right away by doing this. You have a negative emotion? Yeah, fully embrace it. Yeah. There's something really shitty. Rather than fight it or try to hide it or suppress, because suppression, that's not healthy. It's like, squeeze it down. Nah. Yeah, so then you can feel it. Okay, there's something else. Now, another thing that I wanted you to consider is, with all your negative emotions, and I'm riffing off of what Peter was saying tonight with the apprentices, and also something I had to confront in myself when working with my own mind and my emotions and stuff like that, like if I have really negative emotional states, and working with that on purpose was, God damn, I forgot it again. It was, acknowledge and confront that if you are having a negative emotional state, there will be a part of you that you clearly know you don't like this. You're like, I don't want this. I don't want this experience. I don't want to do it. It's not for me. You know that, but that's at an intellectual level. If it's still there in your experience, consider that you do in fact want that experience because it's happening, because you're doing it. If you are recognizing that emotions are something you are doing, well, first of all, something you're doing rather than something that you are, that's a sidebar. Something that you're doing, you are clearly in one place, you're like, say you don't want this, and in the other place you are forcefully doing it, ergo you want to do it. Otherwise you wouldn't have it in your experience. It wouldn't be happening anymore. Tracking? So I had to confront and acknowledge and consider, where is it that I actually want this negative emotion? Because you do want it. And try to uncover the mechanisms of why you want/need it. And I don't mean need like water, because you obviously don't need these shitty experiences to happen. But need like something forceful. You think it's very important to you for them to exist. Confront the need. Find where you need this in your experience, and it will start to uncover, as far as I can tell, at least for me, they started to confront and uncover the mechanisms that are at play that create the emotions in the first place. And then increase your consciousness on the mechanism itself, like what that is. Like if you were taken out of the picture, again, riffing off a bit off of what Peter was saying tonight, but I thought it would be very useful for you out here, taking yourself away, really looking at it for real, not from your perspective, but from existence's perspective kind of thing. What the fuck is happening there? You need this. Why? Take a look. Okay, and in there, in all that work, likely those are three things that could really help you when considering and dealing with your negative emotions. And again, in order to become conscious, it requires honesty, it requires work, it requires your consideration, it requires your openness, it requires your responsibility. You need to do that. Otherwise, this movie is just videos, just you might get some entertainment, that's fine. And of course, you know what I'm going to say about that. It's basically akin to mental masturbation. Maybe you get a new idea. So fucking what? On the other side, if you got some value, great. If you got some entertainment, fine. Enjoy, of course. But if you really want the real results, you must put in work, and that's just a fact. You put in a lot of work to, I'm parroting Peter, again, man, this is kind of going off on what he said tonight. The amount of work it took you to create you in the first place, you got to do some more of that to stop the bullshit. You made the bullshit, now you got to unmake it. And that takes some doing, okay? All right, so there you go. Considerations about negative emotions, what to do about them, how to, perhaps an approach, some new ideas, some things to try out. And as always, go out there, kick some ass, do your own work, figure it out, become very honest with yourself, discover what's really going on. And it might turn out that what I'm saying is actually correct. But you have to discover that for yourself, okay? So much love, take care. As always, come here, do a workshop, they kick ass. Check the description of the video. You know how to navigate my website. I've also got some other offers there, online coaching, blah, blah, blah. But check the links, go to my website, read things, check it out. If you want to, email me, drop a comment. Of course, do battle in the comments. I don't care. Leave 1 million comments for the algorithm. All right? Cool. Take care. Good luck out there. If you have challenges with this work, please email me or you know how to get in contact with me. Much love. Take care.